for the beans. We've been off for the last couple weeks, just been schedules not working out and vacations and stuff, but we're back for Jake and Cheese. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's going on, man? Currently sweating this Miami Heat game.
They're up right now.
They're up, but nothing feels safe when your boy Grant Williams starts shooting threes.
Hey, if he gets hot from three,
If he gets hot from three, it's ridiculous.
it's dumb. What do you want to start with? You want to start with some NBA? You want to start with the biggest talk of college football? Where y'all want to go with this?
Let's get the NBA out the way real quick because there's not much to talk about the NBA. The last 20-something playoff games have been most of them's been blowouts. It's terrible.
Dude,
I just think that it's just all offense. Whoever gets on a roll, which basketball is always like a sport of momentum. I mean, momentum is definitely the key in basketball, but it just seems like it's a game of run. And there's just no defense anymore. There's no strategizing, trying to slow teams down when they get rolling. I don't know. I don't understand.
I figured there would be a little bit more change in the playoffs. And at first, the playoffs started off pretty okay. Like that Minnesota, stupid Marcus Smart. Anyway, that Minnesota versus the Grizzlies series was fun. It was entertaining. It was chippy. It was a close game. And then everything else just kind of. Boston ran through the Nets. Boston ran through the Bucks. Phoenix, literally every game in the Phoenix Mavs game or series was blowouts. It was absolutely terrible. I just think this is the worst the product's ever been, and I don't really know why that is. First of all, the officiating between the NFL and the NBA might be two of the worst officiated sports, in all of sports. It's terrible. There's no consistency. The Miami Heat won Game 3 at Boston, and they only shot up into 1 point. They were outnumbered 27-5 in free throw attempts. That's ridiculous.
I think they said oh, go ahead, Jake.
That's what basketball is becoming is just straight offense, just jack the threes, no defense.
What'd you guys say, Justin?
Oh, I was saying, I think they said these last 10 playoff games have been decided by 17 points or more or something, and that's just
Well, the Mavs Warriors game was a 10-point game.
That's probably one of the closest ones. Tatum hit another three.
That's one of the closest ones.
But the other night, I mean, when it was a game, what was that? When Boston went up 18-1, or finally got to 26-4 in the first quarter. That should never happen in professional basketball.
No.
It's not even exciting to sit here and talk about NBA basketball. It's not.
That's why I said we might as well go ahead and talk about it. Right now.
It's not a good product right now. Like she said, it's not a good product.
And this is for someone, last thing I'll say, and then we can move on, is I love the Heat. I'm an avid Heat watcher. It's been tough even in this series watching the games. It's just tough. It's man, if this gets to the point where you don't enjoy watching your favorite team play, that's concerning.
Yeah.
Also, what do y'all think about the NFL getting rid of the Pro Bowl game?
It's about time. It should have happened a long time ago.
I think they need to do more stuff, more skills challenge, and throw money into it.
Yeah.
Or for charity, or just something like that.
Absolutely.
All right, Frecker, your man down there in Tuscaloosa has been in the news. I know you've been hot and heavy on this, and we've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So go ahead. Did we lose Frecker?
I think he muted himself.
Oh, we lost him.
He'll be back. We'll
get him back in just a second.
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what he has to say. I know he has a lot to say.
I tell you, I'm ready for. Oh, there he is. He's back now. Let's get him back in
Can
here.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're on now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This gay ass streaming service you got us on right now. That's why it's damn shit don't work good. No, man, the proof's in the pudding. You got Alabama players coming out left and right, speaking on what Saban said. Saban wasn't saying that Jimbo's done anything wrong. He wasn't saying that he's done anything illegal. He wasn't whining or pitching and moaning. He was just saying that he doesn't think that what's happening is sustainable in college sports, and it's not. It's not. Just like you have the Jordan Addison situation where you have USC offering him millions before he even enters the portal. Like, this just isn't sustainable. It's not. There's got to be some kind of boundaries. It can't just be wide ass open. It's not going to go well. Even NFL's got a salary cap. And I mean, what Jimbo's a pussy. Jimbo's beat him one time. I mean, fuck Jimbo Fisher. I mean, it's that simple. He's gonna October 8th. He's gonna get his dick slapped. He don't talk to daddy like that. But man, I don't know. I mean, I like NIL. I mean, Saban likes NIL. He knows the players deserve to get some money, but like I said, there's got to be some structure to it. You can't just have it wide ass open. And even Steve Spurrier come out and said, "I don't understand what Jimbo Fisher's mad at. Did he say something that wasn't true?" I mean, you got Jimbo Fisher's never brought in more than 2 5-stars in a class. He brought in 7 this class. Come on now, what's the difference this year? NIL. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, my take on this whole situation is, I mean, at the time, it's kind of out of Saban's character, in my opinion. Like, the fact that he brought in the Travis Hunter thing was kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. But I mean, I see both sides of the story. Like you said, it's not sustainable. Obviously, something has to be done. But this is because the NCAA failed to take action. And the reason why nothing's been done so far is the NCAA is afraid for another lawsuit. So if they try to go to Congress again and try to say something, they're ultimately afraid that they're going to face another lawsuit. And so what it's done is open this free market that basically we see what it is. It's college football free agency. It's nuts. You have quote unquote tampering happening. But interesting thing about that, Josh Pate said this perfectly. He said, it's not all the coaches that you think is tampering. Sometimes it's players on your own roster reaching out to these coaches to see if they have spots available, to see if they can better themselves. So it falls on the players as well. And when he said that, that kind of like opened up my eyes a little bit, because you know me, I'm super pro player. I'm all for get your money. Yeah. I think all this stuff has happened in years past, recruiting's dirty tactics. But when he brought to light, I said that actually makes sense, that there's kids that probably aren't happy with their current situation and are reaching out to some of these coaches that recruited them when they were coming out of high school. And so that kind of leads into this quote unquote tampering. But man, this ultimately what you're going to see is somehow, some way they're going to regulate it through, like, I think what's going to happen is probably the TV deals, like the TV providers need to step in. And then there's like a pool that kind of go balls by God. But anyways, yeah, it's like there's going to be a pool from this thing to quote unquote make it level. I mean, it's never going to be level. Like Vanderbilt's never going to be on a, no matter what kind of NIL deal, they're never going to be on a level of Alabama. And so, but I think what Josh Pate, because I listened to a lot of him, what he said that ultimately it's probably going to come down to these conferences, not really separating, but ultimately making conference rules on how NIL is going to be regulated. And that's going to be with the TV providers. And I think that's a good idea. I don't know, again, like the logistics, I don't know how that's ultimately going to work, but ideally it sounds better on paper and it has some kind of restriction than just wild west out here.
Well, even Lane Kiffin had an interview today, and like, because all these dumbasses are out here fucking saying, "Oh, Saban's scared." No, Saban's not scared. Like Lane said today, this man, you've literally given free reins to fucking open a checkbook up. This man's liable to double his national championships before he leaves Alabama. Now, he's not complaining because of what Jimbo's doing. He's just saying, hey. He's pretty much giving a warning, just like he did with the portal, saying, hey, I don't think y'all are going to. And now look what Saban's doing with the portal. He owns the portal. I mean, it's just like he did with the college football playoff. He said, "Hey, I don't think y'all are going to like this." And now what is he doing with the playoff? He's in it every year, winning it from a 4 seed. He can lose a game now and still get a natty. He can lose 2 and maybe possibly get in the natty. I mean, so when Saban speaks, you should hear it as the gospel, because it obviously is.
I wouldn't say it's gospel, but I do think the man's very intelligent.
It is the college football gospel. This man is the Lord and Savior of college football.
No.
And he's obviously given warnings. And everything he said was right. I don't got nothing against what Saban said. He apologized for name dropping. That's all he apologized.
That was good to see.
Name drop. But the Travis Hunter thing is bullshit. You got the number one player, number one country going to a damn D2 school. I don't care. I don't care what kind of school it is. It's a D2 school. It's not. That would never happen before.
It's D1. It's FCS D1.
Well, it's FCS. It's FCS. It's still it's the same thing as Tennessee Tech, man. It
is, but they're still technically quote unquote D1.
But that's not happening. Like, that's not happening with NIL. I don't care if Deion's there or not. It's not happening. Yeah. He can say he no money, whatever.
I mean, I believe Deion on this case, because he ain't even making $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, he might not got a million. There was articles saying he got $1 million. That's what Saban was basing it off of. Obviously, Saban didn't go investigate the situation. He's just saying this is what he's heard. They're bragging about it. Like, can you imagine a player getting paid and people bragging about it in the paper? Like, that's what this is becoming. That's what he was saying. He wasn't dissing Travis Hunter.
Didn't Saban brag about Bryce Young getting a NIL deal?
No shape form did he brag. He was talking and he was telling warning of what is to come. He said, I have a quarterback on my roster who hasn't even played yet, and he's already making millions in the NIL. He was talking against the NIL. He wasn't bragging. But like I said, you have to listen to the full context of something. He was talking down on the NIL. He was talking down on the NIL when that happened too. He was simply saying, and it is crazy that Bryce Young was getting paid millions before he ever played a snap.
Yeah.
And now you're going to have it left and right. They're talking about Arch Manning's going to get who knows what kind of deal from Texas.
I mean, it is what it is. Something's going to give. What's your thoughts on it, Justin? What do you think?
Well, I think you're going to have to cap it at some point, because I feel like some of these boosters, they're going to start giving so much money, and they're going to feel like these guys that they're giving money to, they're going to try in the coach's back pocket. And like, hey, this guy needs to play, or, something like that. And then when that happens, just like years ago, if the boosters down at Texas weren't like they were, Nick Saban would be coaching down there.
Yeah, because they want. I don't know if he would be coaching necessarily at Texas, but they do have. They want to. It's a power grab. They want to be in control of the team instead of letting the guy you hired do his job. So yeah, I get that.
I just feel like the boosters, they're going to try to tell some of these coaches how they need to put these players in because of all the money that they're paying. Or what if they, start getting burned on some of these guys that's never been played yet, and they're already giving them, like, say, $1 million or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like NIL's good, but there needs to be some kind of cap on it before stuff like that starts happening.
You have these schools like Coastal Carolina that are doing good, and Cincinnati right now that are doing good. That's going to stop. That's going to end because those aren't schools with big boosters. And you're going to have these schools like Nebraska and USC who have just been shitters for the past 10 years. But now because they have a huge backing, huge fan base, and huge boosters, they're just going to get a free pass. They're going to get to come back because they can write big checks. That's what's going to happen.
I like to see it happen, though. That's the thing.
But that's not. I want to see it happen the right way. Just like Alabama came back the right way with Saban.
Yeah, but nothing's been done the right way, though. There's been some kind of dirty tactics in every program. Like, it's just the sport's a business, and it's cutthroat, and it's been like this forever. So.
No. What it has been and what it is now is not even similar. You're talking about rumors of Saban paying players. There's never been any proof. You have players interview every day saying it never happened, and now you have players
of course they're going to deny it.
players getting paid millions before they ever step on campus, and it's out in the public. It's out in the open.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's if it was the same, Nebraska would have never fell off. If it was the same, USC would have never fell off. It's not the same. When these schools are already clawing back, Miami's already clawing back. It's not the same.
Excited. They need to be back by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But Miami's NIL thing is different compared to what we're seeing. Like, we don't have a quote unquote collective. Like, this guy, people there, he uses these kids for marketing and advertising. They have to show up. They have a contract that they sign, which they're responsible for certain duties, and he's using it to build his business. Like, there's not a collective. It's one guy. And he's also, it's not just Miami people. He's taking care of FIU people. He signed every long snapper in the state of Florida to an NIL deal. Like, it's not just Miami.
I'm not against what's going on. Players getting paid. I think they should have been paid for years. I mean, you just think back to like Vince Young, Reggie Bush, what they were to the game.
Yeah.
And you got like Noel Devine and Steve Slayton and Pat White, players like that.
Johnny
that could have made money.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel.
Well, Johnny Manziel was making $30K off of signing autographs. So.
Yeah, but I'm not. Like I said, I'm not against players making money, but you have to bring some parity, as Saban would say, or you have to bring a cap, or there has to be a structure. You can't just let these bigger programs buy themselves back to relevance. Or if you're Alabama, like I don't know if people understand that Paul Bryan is one of the richest men in the United States. Like, we can buy anyone if we want to. That's not what Saban wants. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost us a lot more than Chargers these days.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the richest man in the state of Alabama is a booster for Auburn, though.
I don't think so, because Paul Bryant's pretty rich.
I was watching a thing on, again, Josh Pate, credit to him, because they were talking about the situation about the main booster from Auburn said that their job is to hire and fire school presidents, not football coaches. And they brought up his graphics, and his graphic, the guy, he owns a lumber company. It says he is the richest man in the state of Alabama.
I'm gonna look it up, but
I don't know. I can't remember his name, but that's what it said.
So like with this NIL stuff and these boosters and whoever pouring money into these facilities, I was listening to something today. It's like, well, isn't that kind of, because before it was legal to pay players and stuff, they liked all these facilities. They liked all the nice new facilities. Now that they can get paid, do you think you'll see a drop? You think they'll see a little drop off on them upgrading facilities to put that money towards paying kids to come to the school?
I don't think so, because NIL, from my understanding, has nothing to do with the institution itself. Like, it's all from outside. But you definitely could. I think that could be a factor. Again, Miami's trying to catch up. So they just pledged $100 million for a brand new football facility. And by the time it's built, it's going to be up there in one of the best football facilities in all the country. And whether or not people, like, facilities do matter. And, like, if you're a kid that's got pro potential, you want to go to places that offer you the best facilities, the best treatment plans, the best workout plans, the best environment. And so facilities is always going to matter. And I think it's always going to be an arms race in facilities. So I don't think spending in facilities will go down per se, but I think what you're alluding to is it probably won't be as main focus anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that, but they're always going to matter.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, tell Dylan Farmer to get up on his stats, because he said Saban had a losing season first year Alabama. Man went 7-6. He's never had a losing season.
No, he didn't have a losing season.
No, he went 7-6. It was just 7-6. It is close, but no, we did lose. We lost to Louisiana Monroe that year too.
Sure did.
And Mississippi State.
Yeah. So, but the whole Saban and Jimbo thing, because that was the main question, is like, from Jimbo's point of view, like, I like him sticking up for his team and his players, like, obviously. But, man, the dude went to another level. Called him a narcissist. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Called him a hypocrite. They said, go dig into his track record.
I want to know what what Jimbo
that track
knows.
record is. Yeah, I want to know what Jimbo knows. Like, here's the thing. Here's how I see it. And Fraker's laughing or whatever. But how I see it is like, well, Jimbo, if you know something, why don't you tell the whole world? It makes me think that he doesn't know something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But what's funny is that he said he's not a cheater. He's not a cheater. He kept saying that he himself, I'm not a liar, I'm not a cheater. But then he worked for Saban, and he's telling you he knows how Saban has dirt. So what does that mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he
but Jimbo's
dirt,
just as guilty. Jimbo's just as guilty as Nick Saban is. Like that. I mean, dirty recruiting tactics has been a thing ever since college football. The reason why Jimbo left Florida State too is probably because they couldn't do the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't have the money to do the dirty work.
He got in trouble at Florida State for doing dirty shit.
He did, but then also they were just running out of money because that whole program, I don't know how it's functioning right now.
Oh yeah, it's just not well. It's not well funded at all.
So
and he went to one of the programs that's probably arguably the best funded program in the country. To be honest, I mean,
yeah,
they're very, very well funded. There ain't no doubt about it.
At the end of the day, like the main takeaway from this that I got is, at the end of the day, college students or like college football players or college athletes, they have been exploited throughout this whole process, throughout history with recruiting tactics and stuff like that. Before NIL, after NIL, because there is going to be something happen where a kid supposedly signs this deal or whatever, and he doesn't shake out to be what it is, and some collective or whatever is going to try to get out of this contract, and that's just exploiting the kid. And so there's going to be some negative consequences for sure, but I think within the next year or two there will be some kind of regulation. Now, how they enforce it is a different question.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, it's the biggest sport in our country. The players got to get paid. They just got to regulate it somehow.
Yeah.
Just like the Quinn Ewers thing. I mean, dude went to Ohio State, never played it down, never played a snap. Got his money, and now he's back at Texas. Like, I think that's where a lot of stuff's going to go down, with these people giving them money like that and not playing and then transferring to wherever, and then there's going to be some kind of lawsuit. There's going to be something that there's going to be one major thing that happens, and then it's going to go downhill from there.
Yeah, low key, that was smart by him, though. I mean, as an 18-year-old kid, that is smart. And it's one of those things that we say all the time. You can break it down simply: don't hate the player, hate the game. And that was the game. Like there hasn't been any rules. So if you have an opportunity to go to school, get developed by a decent program, and get paid, maybe you don't get playing time, then you enter. Like Quinn Ewers going to Ohio State, I guarantee you he comes into Texas as a better prospect than he was coming just straight out of high school. Because he was under a college coach. And like Ryan Day and Steve Sarkisian, they're two different coaches, two different approaches, but they run the way college programs runs generally the same, you know. So it was smart by that kid. It really was. He finessed Ohio State, which I'm here for. I hate Ohio State. So
yeah. I tell you, man, I'm ready. I'm ready for October 8th. That's gonna be a big weekend.
It's gonna be fireworks. I'm taking Bama's spread though.
I just saw where Josh Pate tweeted this earlier today. You got Texas A&M at Alabama, Texas versus Oklahoma, Tennessee at LSU, Ohio State at Michigan State, UNC at Miami, and then Auburn at Georgia.
You know what game I'll be watching?
Oh, 100%.
You know what game I'll be watching?
You'll know where I'll be at. I'll be down in Baton Rouge.
Are you going to be screaming, calling Baton Rouge?
Do what?
Are you going to be screaming, calling Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I plan on going.
That was one of the most electric videos I've ever seen on Twitter history, was when Garth Brooks was at LSU Stadium. And he sang that song, and you had like 100,000 crazy Cajuns yell Louisiana.
Yeah, that's a wild stadium. I want to go bad.
What do you think? What do you think is going to be? You hear people talk about it. What do you think the handshake after the game is going to be like?
A&M?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be professional. I think it's going to be something that's going to be like Jimbo. I think Jimbo is probably lying a little bit too, saying like, "Oh, we're done" or whatever. At the end of the day, the professional thing, he's going to probably shake his hand, and something's going to be talked about underneath, like that we'll never hear about until probably years down the line, that they had a conversation and worked things out. But
no, they're just trying to diss on. They feel like they saw a hole in the armor and they're trying to take a jab at him. They feel like they had a chance, but it ain't. Like I said, you ought to see, dude. That encounter alone probably made the city of Tuscaloosa $5 million, because you can't touch a hotel room. You can't touch a hotel room for less than $500 a night now on October 8th. Can't touch Airbnb for less than like $2,000 a night.
And that's good for the community.
Yeah,
great for the community. It's gonna be electric. I'm glad I'm a season ticket holder. I don't have to pay any extra money for those tickets. They're already paid for.
That'd be a good game to go. Yeah.
Damn, I was going to say something.
I mean, it's going to be electric. It's going to be electric when Tennessee's undefeated and the Crimson Tide roll in and just ass blasted by 60. I can't wait for that.
Last thing I want to say about Jimbo versus Saban, put him in a Hell in a Cell match. I want to see it. I want to see
Saban's fucking.
I want to see someone get thrown off the top of the cell like Undertaker did Mankind. That'd be nuts.
I feel like Saban's a Goldberg type form tackle, dude. Form tackle, but just duck his ass.
Let's see.
Oh, a little Corona action, eh?
Oh yeah.
Are you drinking that without no lime?
No lime, just straight Corona.
Man, I have to have a lime with a Corona.
I mean, I like a lime with it, but I don't have to have it.
I'm just a big lime guy right now.
Yeah, I like lime.
Finally got hands on Busch Light Apple.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
You
owe me. I know you drank a 12-pack at my wedding.
Hey, I got plenty. I'm getting some more this weekend too.
You drank a whole 12-pack at the wedding?
Buddy, we killed a 30 rack.
Easy.
I mean, I know. Don't get me wrong. It's easy, but at the same time, like, since it's a little bit sweet, it's kind of like, I don't know, flavor fatigue.
It's not sweet at all.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that sweet.
I can't say anything because remember when I found that 24-pack or whatever, I went through it in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
What the fuck is James talking about?
Who's Vin Diesel? Like, why is he? Who is he calling Vin? I know who Vin Diesel is, but Jimbo's not going to retire Saban. Like, hold on. This is one thing I'll have to get off my. I hate defending Saban. I do, but Danny Cannell's stupid self said that this was going to be Saban's last year, and then he's going to go to the booth for college game day. I'm like, that is the most ridiculous statement you've ever said. Well, he says ridiculous things all the time, actually.
If you listen to him on Sirius XM in the mornings, he has some off-the-wall shit, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
That one was off the wall. Not gonna lie.
You ought to receive phone calls from James Pierce. They're about the same as Danny Cannell. He's all the time at the end. Saban's at the end. No, the fuck he's not, man. Man had one of the worst teams he's had all around in 10 years, and he went to a natty. I mean, the guy's not even in the game. Just like Lane said, he might honestly never retire. He might die in his office.
I think he's going to be just like Vince McMahon. Like, Vince McMahon's never going to retire, so I think Saban's never going to retire.
He's ain't no reason to. Why would he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what he loves. He loves football. He lives for football.
But yeah, Tennessee. I was looking at the schedule when, like Fraker said, there's a good possibility they could be 6-0 when they play Bama, because I think LSU, with that roster overturn and like Brian Kelly's first year, I think they're going 7-5, maybe 6-6. I looked at their schedule. Once they get into conference play, they literally have a tough run of like Auburn, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Bama, like just the teams in Florida, like the teams in a row that they play. Their only break in that schedule is playing UAB towards the end of the year, and UAB is no joke.
Yeah, so UAB is no slouch.
Yeah. LSU and Florida have a tough go to start the season. Mm-hmm. I honestly think LSU's defense is going to be good. I think Brian Kelly has always had a pretty decent defense, and he has a lot of on defense. He brought a lot of talent through the portal. I think that he's going to have a good defense, but I think offensively they're going to struggle. In the SEC, they're going to struggle. Mm-hmm. Florida is too.
Yeah, I don't buy into the Anthony Richardson hype.
Hey, big take. James was calling for upset Alabama and Texas week 1, which is not week 1, week 2.
Week 2, it's not going to happen.
But there is a huge upset that's going to take place week 1, though. Go ahead and get your apps out and bet on it.
Don't say it.
Oregon.
No, they're
take
not.
Georgia down.
No, they're
yes,
not.
Yes,
I mean, I'd love to see it.
I don't see it happening, but
I would love to see it happen, though.
Yeah, I would love to see it happen. I would live for that to happen. I think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not out of the realm of possibility because you have all off season to prepare for one game. Like,
look what all Georgia lost. I mean, they lost a ton.
Yeah, but I don't think Kirby's. I'm a big believer in Kirby, and I hate to say that because I wasn't at first, but I think they're just going to turn around, and I don't think they won't be as good as last year, obviously, but they're going to be right there in the hunt.
I'm telling you, I told y'all last year that Georgia would beat Clemson, and everybody told me I was crazy. There's no way Georgia's beating Clemson.
You did say that, so, I mean, we needed to listen a little bit, but.
I'm telling you, they lost too much. Defense is going to – and it's going to be a different – I mean, I think it's going to be a good game. Oregon's not going to run them out of the building, but I think Oregon's going to get a dub.
I don't.
I really do. I also think that you better watch out for Nebraska in the Big Ten. I really believe that.
They got a favorable schedule. They had a good transfer portal class, and they got a favorable schedule. And last year, you got to think about it. Again, I give credit to this guy because this is the guy who helps me learn about other programs other than my own. Josh Pate, and if he brought it up because someone said, "Oh, Nebraska goes to a bowl game this year and wins a bowl game." He's like, I could easily see that happening because every game they played that they lost was a one-possession game. They had some turnovers that didn't bounce their way, except for the Ohio State game. But Ohio State only beat them by like 11 or something.
They had.
And they bringing in Casey Thompson, who I think is an upgrade for Martinez.
Oh, for sure.
I hope Utah destroys Florida. I do.
I think it'll happen.
I think it'll happen. I think Whittingham's a really good coach for one thing.
Yeah.
I think Napier's got a lot on him. They got a lot of holes down there.
Yeah. I don't see the Oregon game happening. I just can't. But then again, they said Oregon wasn't going to beat Ohio State last year, and they did. So who knows?
But Oregon's got talent. I'm just straight up. Oregon has got talent.
I'm just not sold. I will not be sold on Bo Nix. I think he'll be better there, but also I'm not sold on their offensive coordinator. I'm not. But it's one game. It'll be entertaining.
You also have Dan Lanning, who knows the in and outs of Georgia's defense.
Of that team, yeah. Mm-hmm. But just because you know the in and outs, do you think that's going to give him a slight edge?
I think it does give him a slight edge, especially he knows the in and outs, and it's going to be a young defense.
Yeah. I don't know. Kirby just found a good way getting his players ready to play, dude. I'd go play for Kirby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt. I mean, he was definitely, a part of some of the best defenses we've ever had. So, I mean, nothing against Kirby as a coach. He's a really good coach. Do you think USC is going to just come take the college world by storm this year?
Okay, this is a great question because I wanted to talk about this. They got the number 1 transfer portal class. We've seen it. Mario Williams, Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison, you name it. They got everything. They have a favorable schedule. Utah is a tough game, and I think they get Notre Dame at home at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure.
I'll look it up.
I think there's no way they don't go 10-2 minimum.
Here you go. I'll read you your schedule. So they have Rice, Stanford, Fresno State, Oregon State, Arizona State, Washington State, Utah, Arizona, Cal, Colorado, UCLA, and Notre Dame.
Yeah, is Notre Dame at home?
No, it's a home game, yeah.
Yeah. I think they can. I think they go 11-1. And here's the thing: I don't know if they'll win the Pac-12 because the Pac-12 went ahead and changed the rule this year since they passed it where you don't have to have divisions to go to the conference championship. Pac-12 is already enforcing that, so they're probably going to face Utah or Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game, and I could see them being like 11-1, but losing that Pac-12 game or Pac-12 championship game. But if there's a first-year head coach, and granted, he's not a first-time head coach, but a first-year head coach at a new program that has a good shot at making playoff year one, it's definitely USC's team. Because they upgraded at the quarterback position from Keaton Slovis. They got one of the best receivers in the country. I think the best receiver in the country is Jackson Smith and Jigba, personally. But they got the guy who won best receiver last year, and they got Mario Williams and familiar play calling. It's just they're going to have some holes because of what Clay Helton left them. There's going to be holes. Defense is always going to be a question mark.
I think they're going to lose an oddball game like a UCLA or something just because that's what Lincoln does. Lincoln did that at Oklahoma. Yeah. I mean, he's going to fall at some point. But I do think they have a chance to get in the Pac-12 championship. I don't think they're going to be the best team in college football next year. I don't think Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the country. I think he had some sparks of some crazy stuff happen last year.
No, I don't think he's the best quarterback in the country. But they've got a lot to be excited about over there. And like I said, they got a favorable schedule.
What do we? All right, you talked about how Pac-12 they scrapped divisions and just made one division. What do we think the SEC is going to do?
I don't know what they're going to do, but I think whatever happens in the SEC, I think you're going to see a rematch in the SEC championship game probably every other year of like something that happened in the regular season. I think that's what's going to happen. Just because I don't know if they go to pods. I don't know if they just do the top two teams in conference go to the championship game. But they have something to figure out there. They could do the pod system where you play 3 set opponents a year and then rotate.
Yeah. See,
which I think is smart because if you want to protect your rivalries, then yes, you can lock in the rival games as the 3 opponents you play every year. But it would be cool to see Alabama play some other teams. And granted, I know they'll beat up on them, but like it'd be cool to see Alabama like play Florida like more often, play Georgia in the regular season more often, that type of stuff.
See, the things I've been seeing for these pods is like they have the last few ones that they had Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and I think like Auburn in one pod. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way they'd ever put those 4 teams in a pod.
No. They'd probably put Auburn and Bama in the same pod, but not all 4 of those.
Not all 4 of those. No. Now, for Tennessee's sake, we're having Kentucky, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. Hey, I'm fine with it. I don't care what they do.
Yeah, if it's who y'all are surrounded by, then y'all are liable to get a pretty good draw. I mean, you could get Mizzou, South Carolina, Kentucky. Pretty good draw. I do think South Carolina is going to be a pretty decent football team this year.
I do too.
Will Levis is the best quarterback in the draft. If you didn't know,
I don't believe the Will Levis hype. I'm not buying into it.
Yeah, I'm not buying Will Levis either. But they do it every year. They try to find one quarterback that they just hop on, do ride, just because they want to be.
Every year. It is every year.
Every year they pick.
And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he's not.
I don't know. I never. From him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's the worst quarterback in the league, but he's also not what they're making him out to be. They're probably just trying to say that right now. So if something happens and he's up there at the top, they're like, "Oh, see, we tried to tell y'all, that this was going to happen."
I think he could have a good year. I absolutely do. I think I think whoever they just hired as offensive coordinators are got a really good proven NFL track record as well.
We'll see.
So like, I get it, and I think Kentucky. Solid team. It's just they got the essential okay, they'll surprise you, but they can never. It's for some reason they can't get past the hump of Tennessee. No matter how bad or how good Tennessee is, or how good Kentucky is, they can't get past Tennessee. It's kind of frustrating if you're a Kentucky fan, to be honest with you.
Well, it used to be like that with Florida. They lost to Florida 26 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
But I mean.
But Stitch is a hell of a coach and what he's done.
Oh yeah, he is a good coach. Besides Vandy, who do y'all think is the worst team in the SEC this year?
Besides Vandy, who do I think is going to be the worst?
Yeah, Vandy's some. Let's not even consider Vandy. They're going to be bad.
I think Missouri.
That's what I was going to say. Missouri.
But it's probably Missouri.
Florida could have a really bad year this year.
I think Auburn could have a really bad year too.
Yeah.
I think Auburn or Missouri are going to be the two worst teams in
so we're in the same agreement then, Jake, because I was looking at Auburn's schedule and it's like they don't have an answer for the quarterback. Like they don't have a quarterback, whether it's Finley or Zach Calzada or whatever. There's already turmoil within the team. They play a tough schedule. Boosters don't want them. All this stuff. Like it could be a really dark year for Auburn.
Well, I mean, and this is what the boosters deserve because they got rid of. I mean, one of the best coaches in college football. To be honest, Gus is not a bad coach at all. Yeah, he's not a bad coach, but boosters didn't like him. Now he's living his best life in Florida, and they get Brian Harsin. Who the fuck is Brian Harsin?
Yeah.
So I mean, but Brian Harsin be out of a job this year.
Yeah. By Auburn's schedule, I mean, they got Mercer and San Jose State to start the season. But then you got Penn State. I don't know how Penn State's going to be yet.
I think they'll lose that game. Where's it at? Is that at Auburn?
Yeah, it's at Auburn. Yeah.
I still think they lose that game.
Yeah.
Oh, then they go through a stretch of LSU, Georgia, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Mississippi State,
so
A&M.
Arkansas, Ole Miss, and A&M. I don't think they have a chance in those games.
How do you think Ole Miss?
I think Arkansas
is be this year.
I think Ole Miss. They had a sneaky good transfer portal class as well. Got Jalen Robinson. Got Jackson Dart. Dart still needs to work on his game a little bit. He didn't look the best in spring, but I think they're probably I see him anywhere between the 9-3, 10-2 range. I'm buying into the hype a little bit.
No, I think that
how tough it is.
Ole Miss and Arkansas have the best odds to beat Bama this year, no doubt. Mainly because they're both away games for us. You got to go there, and those teams are full of talent. And I think they're going to be good. They got Ole Miss got Zach Evans too. So I mean,
he's very underrated.
Offensive weapon. Yeah, they loaded up on offensive weapons. James says Missouri, and it isn't close. I just want to like Missouri is going to be. They're young, but they did bring in a good bit of talent. If you go look at their class this year, so you never know.
Maybe South Carolina here. Yeah, I think one of those two teams. I think it is very possible that they beat Bama this year. I would lean more the Ole Miss route, but then again, we saw what Lane Kiffin did against Bama at Tuscaloosa. He killed any chances they had with that stupid analytical stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So. I mean, I feel pretty confident in the team that's in Tuscaloosa this year that we can run the table. But if there are teams that can beat us this year, that's the teams that I fear is Arkansas and Ole Miss.
Well, I think it's a Bama year for sure.
The only thing I've heard for a red flag is Bama is their offensive line.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've heard.
But he's gonna have the boys ready like he always does.
Yeah, half our offensive line was out for the spring game, so it was pretty rough. Couldn't even get a good look because Will Anderson was in the backfield every play.
Yeah.
Well, at least y'all wasn't in Texas's position. Texas didn't even have enough offensive linemen in the spring to have a normal spring game.
Yeah. We barely did.
I think that's going to be a rout. I think Bama's going to probably beat them by 4 touchdowns.
I can't wait. I want to go really bad.
Where's that game at?
It's at Texas.
Oh.
I don't care where it's at. I don't care where it's at. Like, you got arguably the best quarterback in the nation. You got the best defensive player in the nation. You already see Texas has struggles at the offensive line. Like, Will Anderson should probably put the fear of God in Quinn Ewers that game. Honestly.
And Dallas Turner.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got It's not fair, man. It's not.
No, but yeah, offensive line will definitely be our weakness this year, if there is one. It would definitely be offensive line. It was our weakness last year too, though.
Yeah.
That and depth at receiver. Depth at receiver got us in the national championship.
Yeah, for sure. But
Arkansas, I'm telling you, Arkansas's got some damn weapons this year.
They do. How do y'all feel about KJ Jefferson? I don't know really what to make out of him. I think he's a great ball player, but they had him. There was a list of the top 25 quarterbacks, and they had him 5. They had Dylan Gabriel in the top 5 too, which was very questionable. But
yeah,
I don't think
they're D-riding Gabriel.
I don't think Jefferson's top 5. Like I think he was over a quarterback that I thought was better than him already. I can't remember the list off the top of my head. It's on my TikTok. Hold on.
I think KJ Jefferson is really good, but I don't know if he's that high. I mean, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good quarterback.
They had him over Hendon Hooker, and I thought Hendon Hooker.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that list. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
they've been peace. I mean, I pee sitting down most mornings. It's the easiest way to pee when you wake up first thing. You know.
Wait, what just happened?
What did I miss? From where
James.
Saving
I was confused for a little bit because I looked up from my phone, and next thing I know, we're talking about how we pee in the morning.
Hey, you better stay away from Jake now. He's got mad cow disease.
Yeah, I got mad cow disease.
What's wrong with Jake now?
I got into some kind of damn shit on the river, and it's going away. I rubbed myself down with bleach, and it's going away.
You rubbed yourself down with bleach?
You got to be tough, boy.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, but it's
because I wanted to talk about this. So I saw there's people in the uproar, mostly Pitt fans, and I get it. But up in an uproar of when Jordan Addison's parents helped them move, they were covered in toes, had the gear like with USC gear, and so everyone was giving them crap, saying they're not classy, yada yada yada. So I just want to know y'all's thoughts on that because I got an opinion on that as well.
I mean, if I just got a new job offer, and they're doubling or quadrupling my salary, and they gave me a bunch of nice ass clothes, I mean, I'm probably gonna go to my old job and be like, look at this nice ass shit I got.
Yep.
Y'all don't appreciate it. So I mean,
yeah. I'm with you. I don't think it's quote unquote unclassy. I think it's one of those things. It's like, first of all, parents are going to be proud of their children no matter where they're going. First of all,
that's exactly what I was about to say.
The fact that you're hating on someone's parents for what they're wearing, they're like, well, they developed him, and I'm like, okay, those people that helped get Jordan Addison to where he's at are not there anymore. They're not. So, like,
well, it's a
business. Yeah, it's a business, and like you said, it's a promotion in a way. If you're getting all this stuff given to you, of course you're going to give a little. I don't think it's disrespectful because just like I think about, I just had a great year, whatever. I decided I'm going to do the best for me and my family. Let's go to USC. Like I too, as a player, should be excited to where I'm going. Like I'm no longer affiliated with this program. So what do you want me to do? Come in there and move in pit gear? Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't matter if he shit a golden egg in the floor when he left. They were going to be pressed about it. I mean,
yeah,
it's just like I was always told, you're expected to give a 2 weeks notice before you quit a job.
Yeah.
But when do they give you a 2 weeks notice before they fire you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's in today's time, you get up for 2 week notice, they're probably going to fire you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I mean, seriously, you don't even work those 2 weeks. So it's
no, it's a dog eat dog world. And the man's just happy that he got a big and good for him. He's going to get paid big money, and he's not even in the NFL yet. So, and he is one of the best wide receivers in college football.
Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately came down to who you want throwing you the football, Keaton Slovis or Caleb Williams. I tell you where I'd go.
Yeah. I'm going out
Oh,
west.
it's a proven. I'm headed out west, sucker.
Yeah.
It's a proven too. I mean,
yeah, I mean, Lincoln Riley gets people at receiver into the draft as well. I mean, there's a ton of Oklahoma receivers that are in the draft that were coached by him. So, or not in the draft, in the NFL. My bad.
Yeah. I
So,
think we knew what
he did the right thing, but I thought it was childish. So, but I hate Pitt. Like, I hate him.
You boys struggling a little bit.
I don't feel good about. I didn't feel good about this series from the get go. So, my dad's in the background cussing, mad. He's like, "Fire everybody." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're dramatic." See, what else is there? Is there anything else going on?
That's what I was trying to think of some stuff that we may have missed from the last couple of weeks.
I don't know what else is going on. We had the Saban situation. We hit that. Jordan Addison situation hit that. Talked about USC. You know, what we expect on them. I did see where next year, not this year, but 2023, Florida's going to wear black uniforms. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. I saw where Napier said something about it.
They're going to start like a new tradition or whatever. And it's going to be dedicated to like veterans, and they're going to auction off the uniforms for veterans. So I think that's pretty cool. Just kind of like Scott Frost bringing in the black shirts for Nebraska. So
scary money don't make money.
And I'm glad Tennessee brought in those black uniforms. I think they're clean. The helmet's my favorite part.
I love how it's outlined in the black trim on that.
What are you grinning about there, Fraker?
Oh, we can't hear him.
Oh,
he's all hyped up about something. Oh, he'll be back in just a second.
Yeah, I was about to say he was hyped up about.
I don't want to hear what's coming out of his mouth next, but
I know that. I'm watching.
All right.
I'm about sick and tired of this.
There it is.
No, the black jerseys look straight, but the helmets look like dog shit. I did not like the helmets.
Well, supposedly we're supposed to have black helmets, but the way production and shit was.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Talk about what really matters. Women's rowing.
Women's rowing.
Doesn't Tennessee have a good women's rowing team?
We got a damn good rowing team, son. And a rugby team.
Alabama has a good women's rowing team, too, though. Don't sleep.
Didn't Bama get knocked out in softball?
We did. We did get knocked out in softball.
That's pretty shocking to me.
Hey, Bama boys had a big game tonight against Arkansas, though.
Yeah, we did.
I love seeing that.
Florida next.
Bro, how the heck did Tennessee get a guy in college throw 105 miles an hour?
Bro, I don't know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, laser.
I'm scared he's going to blow his arm out.
No, he's done had Tommy John.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's done had Tommy John?
Yeah.
He hasn't played baseball in 2 years before this year. Wow. He had Tommy, and I'm pretty sure I read that he had Tommy John just to have it. He didn't even have Tommy John because of injury, right?
I think so.
He just had to make his arm stronger.
That's actually smart. That low-key might be one of the smartest moves I've ever heard of, honestly.
Dude, that's freaking crazy.
You actually have kids doing that a lot now instead of just going ahead and having it before they need it.
Yep.
Hey, you got to play the game. You got to adapt or die. Adapt or die.
Bro, have you seen those guys on TikTok? I'm sure you have, that are always talking about like D3 sports aren't a big difference between D3 and D1.
Yeah.
It's a podcast, but they run videos on TikTok. Those guys are fucking clowns. and I understand that they must have played D3 ball. I understand that D3 ball is a step down from high school ball. It's not even in the realm of D1 ball.
No offense to you, Fraker, but one of the worst football outings I ever been to was a Cumberland University game.
Oh, hands down. That's why I went there 1 year. I went there 1 year and realized was, and I was like, man, fuck this. This is
I went
embarrassing.
and watched when my friend Jake Allender was playing there. I went and watched him play. Like I think it was like Cincinnati Christian or whatever. It was a first year program or whatever, and it literally might have been the worst display of football I've seen. Like it's a step above high school because obviously, but there was. It literally, I was like, dude, if I didn't ride with someone else, I would have left.
Yeah, I felt like that. And I was standing on the sidelines, and I was like, well, why? Because I never went to a game when I committed there. I just they offered me a scholarship, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go play some football. And then I got there, and what the fuck have I signed up for?
Yeah,
and
was Dwayne Alexander there when you were there?
Yeah, Coach A was Coach. No, Coach A had left. He was already at Tech, I think.
No, because he ain't been Tech's coach for that long. Because he came in and cleaned up Marcus Satterfield's mistake.
Yeah, but he was at Tech.
Was he
already
a coordinator or something there already?
Yeah, he was a coordinator at Tech.
Did you have Coach Suber or whatever his name is?
Suber was my head coach.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Got you. But yeah, it was terrible to play football.
I ain't got no love lost for nothing about Cumberland University.
Oh, I do know something that happened, Justin, that we may have not talked. We can hit it briefly, but Debo and Kyler not showing up to OTAs as expected. You think something's going to get done? The GM of the Cardinals on the Pat McAfee show today said that Kyler's our guy. And
well, isn't Kyler's? Isn't he getting what's fined for every day he misses now?
I don't know. I haven't
because he hasn't. He hasn't showed up.
Man, it's about to be Oakland A.
Oakland A. They just need to get rid of that franchise. Go ahead and move to Nashville, like we already said.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this Nashville soccer team is pretty decent.
Yeah, Nashville FC.
Yeah.
Yeah, their stadium's supposed to be pretty nice. Oh, dude, now that I got you all on here, I got to tell y'all the story about my golfing trip up in freaking Manchester.
Willowbrook?
Yeah, Willowbrook. That was something else. So we get there, because I can better explain it than I can on tweet. So we get there. Mind you, we leave from Jasper, and we got like a 8 a.m. tee time or whatever, because there's only opening because they had a little tournament like fundraiser thing for a kid there that like died of cancer or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And so that was the only time they could get us in, and we really weren't rushed or anything, like, because they actually started playing like way before we did. It was nuts.
Yeah.
So the hole that's behind the driving range, like there's a driving range and then there's the hole right there.
Yeah.
So we got a friend, my friend Matt, he can hit. Like when he hits a golf ball, he's one of the best. I'm not saying he's the best driver I've ever seen, but he's definitely the better, like more consistent drivers out of my group. So there's times where he absolutely tattoos a ball and it goes like 340, 350 or whatever. So he hits one and he's aimed really at the shed, but he hits a draw. And he hits it. There's people on the green, and he realizes that, oh shoot, it's going towards the green. So like he yells 4, but I don't think the people heard him or whatever. And it hits in the bunker, like right in front of the green. And this guy was like, "Hey, why don't you say 4? Yada yada yada." He said he just said my bad or whatever. But when he raised his hand like this, the dude thought he did the Stone Cold like flipped him off type thing. Yeah, he comes in here decked out. Like you could tell by the way this guy was that he was not good at golf, just because he had a custom cart, the way he was dressed, and the way he carried himself, and so he's driving on the. Mind you, I think you shouldn't be. It was stupid, but he's driving onto like where people are hitting balls at, which is stupid in itself. And so he comes there. He's like, do you have no regard for human safety or whatever? He said, bro, it was like a total accident. Like, I could not hit you if I wanted to, like, with a ball. And so he gets up in Matt's face and he's like, I have my 14-year-old kid in here and you're just selfish and no regards for people. Aim for the building. He said, you want me to hit someone's building? He said, well, it's better. A building's better than a person, whatever. Said, yeah, but if I hit this person's building, who knows who's going to come? Like, it's a lose-lose, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So he comes, he said, dude, it was a total accident or whatever. And he just started cussing us, just like literally in his face. And then like, this is where it lost me. Okay. He looks over at Bryce Massengale was with me. He looks over at Bryce. He's like, did you flip me off? He's like, no, I didn't. I was like trying to say like, hey, we're sorry and did this or whatever. He goes to his golf cart, kind of trips and stumbles. First of all, his kid, I guess his kid was driving a different golf cart because there was not a kid with him. He turns back around after he trips. He's like, starts asking Matt, what's your name or whatever, and stuff like that. And Matt takes one motion, takes off his glove, throws it down. He said, I don't have to tell you my name. You know, we're just here to have a good time. He's like, oh, you're that good, huh? You're that good. And basically what it is, dude had a major ego and probably was just jealous. The groundskeeper dude came in here and was like, told him to piss off and go off because like he is a member there and he obviously has some kind of money or whatever because of his equipment and stuff like that. And the groundskeeper, no hesitation. Yeah, that dude's just a total dick. Like total dick. And like he said, we don't like dealing with him either. And he said, you probably should aim here. He said, I know, like it was just one of those because we all have hit a shot where it surprises us and it goes way further than you expect. Yeah. And it was just clean, whatever. And the fact it's what's even crazier is it probably would have went further if it wasn't a practice ball. So it probably would have hit him if it was a normal ball. But I have never seen any. It wasn't even 8 a.m. I looked down at my watch. I was like, dude, it's 7:50. We're almost about to get kicked out of a golf course because Matt's over here hitting cop shots. Like the dude had the most. It was so like when he got up in Matt's face and Matt pulled his freaking glove down. I turned the other way. Like I was ready to fight. If something happened, I was ready to get involved because I had my boys back. But I had to turn the other way because it was so funny the way I'd never seen Matt act so calm. But it goes to show you that just because you're a quote unquote grown up doesn't mean you're the grown up in the situation. Like he handled that so poorly, and he just made a big scene in front of everybody. So when the dude left, everyone on the driving range was like, "That dude's a total asshole." And like he's like, everyone saw like what happened, and I was like, I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, dude, it's not even 8 a.m. and you got this dude fired up. Like he's probably on his phone right now trying to figure out who you are for whatever his pool is and whatever. And we simply said, well, we'll just go to a different golf course. We're not from here. Like, dude, it was nuts. It was that dude. I thought we were about to go to blows, and I haven't been in a fight in a long time. So I'm like, this is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
People like that at the golf course deserve to have a bad rest of the day and bad round of golf if they act like that.
Yeah, but this is the thing that he doesn't he should realize it. But if you're playing golf, you know at some point you're taking a mild risk. Now it's very rare, but at some point a ball's going to be hitting your direction. Because sometimes if you're playing too slow, someone's going to be a dick and try to drive it down your throat to get you play faster or whatever. Like it's part of being out there. And like I get like, oh, I want to protect. I don't know if he had his kid out there or not because when he came down there, he didn't have his kid, and like he was just making a scene and like getting all up in Matt's face and whatever. I was like, Matt, I'm surprised when he like started doing this into your face, you didn't smack him.
Oh yeah.
But he's like, he said I wanted to, but he said I didn't like. He said I wasn't going to hit him unless he put his hands actually on me. And it's like that's the right thing to do, but. It was just, it was nuts. I was like, it never fails. When we take a golf trip, something crazy happens. Not fight-wise, but just like, oh, someone hits a golf ball off a tree and it comes back at us, or it hits off a house and lands like 2 feet from the hole. Like something crazy normally happens. It was the first time I thought we were going to get an altercation, and it was like with a grown adult acting like a child. It was hilarious. But I agree. What you said, they deserve to have a bad round after that.
Next time you come to me, come see me, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, I didn't drive. I rode with Matt that day, but
unreal.
Well, yeah, now you're closer to us.
Is that one That one guy that you said went with y'all, was that one guy that had them spicy messages or whatever?
Yeah, it was. He doesn't have Snapchat anymore, and he hasn't had it for a while. So I think someone actually did get into his account, but it's
I really hope so.
Yeah, it's one of those things like we don't address it. We just kind of do our own thing or whatever. So
yeah,
James said that last time he hit a golf ball, it landed in South Pittsburgh. That'd been nuts. But like, I was Justin, we're gonna have to find a way like for you to come out there with us. I think it'd be a good time because we only have a group of 3. So if like we could get another, we could do a scramble.
Oh yeah, and I know quite a few guys that we can just all get together, and I know what Frederick's favorite thing to do on a golf course is
drink beer.
About a beer a hole. 2 beers a hole.
Are they ice cold Bud Lights?
No, they're not Bud Lights. They're not Bud Lights.
They're probably ice cold natties.
Busch Light.
Or Busch Light.
Busch Light.
I would drink that. I've been on a big Natural Light kick here lately.
Hey, that's my favorite, man. But it's weird because Justin knows this. I'm on a Bud Light kick, which I never thought I would be again. But I think it's just because of the Pat McAfee show, honestly. That's the only reason why.
No shot that my ass ever goes on a Bud Light kick. I hate that.
Well, now since Busch Light Apple's back, that's mine for right now.
Last time I drank, it was at a friend's college graduation party, and they're loaded. Like, they're loaded. They literally have a whole, like, basically a whole bar dedicated to him having his friends over and drink that,
like a big open bar.
Obviously people bring their own stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was drinking natty, pacing myself because it wasn't a darty, but it was something like party started like 5 o'clock and it's going to go to like 2 a.m. I'm drinking natty light and I was doing good until the moment they brought out the Don Julio. They brought out that Don Julio.
Ooh, nope.
I took a big pull of it, and then next thing you know, I had an hour-long conversation with my middle school teacher about something that I quite frankly don't remember. And then next thing you know, I was waking up on the couch. I fell asleep like sitting up, like in a recliner. I was kind of like this. I was like, dang.
Hey, what about that old boy? What about that old boy lighting up a joint after he threw that touchdown pass in that was it that fan control league or something?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's smoking. He's smoking a glacier pack. But speaking about drinking, yeah. TON Johnny Manziel are.
Okay. Speaking about, go ahead, Fraser.
Speaking about alcohol, so like Georgia Strait has this tequila. It's called Codigo 1530. It's like really expensive. So like for my buddy's birthdays, I usually always buy somebody a bottle of liquor. That's like what I do. For Justin getting engaged, I let him pick out a bottle of liquor. But so Samuel Penny, our buddy, he had a birthday party the other day, or it's been a month ago, and we got real good and fuckered up. But before we got fuckered up, I gave him this bottle, and like one of the biggest things I was excited for was like trying this bottle because we're like a really laid back setting, and so we drank. I had a bottle. No, we drank all of my bottle. So we go get on that bottle. His wife's hid it from us. I don't even know what it tastes like.
That's not cool.
Damn.
Like I was so excited. We cleared my bottle of Jack Daniels, and now we can't even find the bottle. But he ended up puking on his mom's rug. It was a great night.
Oh gosh. Well,
it was the night before Mother's Day too.
Oh, that's even better. But well. Yeah. I don't have anything else sports-wise, so y'all want to do a couple questions and then end this?
Yeah, what you got?
Okay. So this is a sports-related question, but if there's any big college football game that you want to go to that doesn't involve the school you are a fan of, what's the game that you're going to and where at? Because the location obviously matters.
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm going to Texas, Oklahoma.
I think that's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah. So I have two choices. Obviously, I know the result, But I would like to go to Penn State versus Ohio State at Penn State in a whiteout night game. I think that's absolutely incredible. And then the other one was the Texas-Oklahoma game, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's up there for me. Granted, I know it's up there for me, but, like, I also want to go to the Iron Bowl just because it's no matter how bad Auburn is, like, it's always a good game. It's rarely ever a blowout. And because I've been to Tuscaloosa Stadium, so I would probably want to go watch it at Jordan-Hare. I think Tuscaloosa is a great stadium, but I would like to see it at Auburn.
Jordan-Hare, it's nothing fancy.
Yeah, it's just to say I've been to both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got a big jumbotron, and that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. Yeah, so that's the first question. Second question.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a picture of Cheese in an Alabama shirt.
You probably did because Where at?
I saw a picture of you in front of Brian Denny, and I'm pretty sure you had Alabama apparel on.
I had a white Under Armour pull zip up. I did. I didn't have Alabama apparel. I didn't. I was rooting for Bama though. I was.
Rumor has it you said Roll Tide.
Hey, I will. Hey,
rumor has it Fraker said Go Big Orange, but I got video proof. I got video proof.
I'm not gonna lie. I have said Roll Tide, obviously, because when they played Ohio State, my roommate at the time was a huge Ohio State fan, and I was saying it just to piss them off, like every other play. But we'll move on to the next question, because I know at some point y'all were into this. I'm still into it. Who was your favorite professional wrestler growing up as a kid?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say mine was probably Goldberg. I was a big Goldberg fan.
I could see you being a Goldberg fan.
Mine,
yeah.
I had 3: Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
The Undertaker.
I love Stone Cold.
And I like the Hardy Boys. I like old Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, me and Justin used to love the damn Hardy Boys. Yes. They were badass.
Yeah, so mine, because you're a little bit older than me. So when I got into wrestling, all those guys, like The Rock, Stone Cold, all of them were out of it. So the people that was the core was like Batista, Undertaker, John Cena, Edge, Randy Orton. But my favorite guy growing up was Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
So,
hey, I can throw Rey Mysterio in there too.
Yeah, you can throw Rey Mysterio in there. Mine was Jeff Hardy. A lot of these guys that I like. It's when I got older and I appreciate what they did. So, like, I became a huge fan of the Edge as well.
See, I loved Eddie Guerrero. I was a big Eddie Guerrero fan.
I also was a fan. I'm not a huge fan of him, but I was a fan of doing the Triple H entrance, like the water bottle.
The water, yep.
Yeah, and so that's fun. So that's it, because I still like wrestling. Don't get me wrong. And then I'm trying to, because these are obviously off the top of my head. So this is a good question right here. What is your dream vehicle?
That's a good one. I don't know. It's like practical or impractical.
It could be whatever you want.
It's like
you could do one impractical and one practical.
Impractical, like I'm going to own a Rolls Royce. Like that's my impractical. I want a Rolls Royce Wraith if I'm being impractical. But if I'm practical, just like a Ford F-450 would be. You know,
like that one you sent in the group today.
Yeah, that bitch was clean.
Yeah, it was.
I'm seeing. I know what's happening.
15%.
I know.
How can they shoot 15%?
They ain't got no legs.
Legs? What happened there? They're playing as much as Boston?
I know, but they're beat up. We're not as deep as Boston right now.
Shit.
Hell
yeah.
Absolutely suck. 15%.
I know. I got the game on. They're watching the game too.
15%.
I know it's over.
Number 1 seed. They need to fire Spolster and get rid of these teams. Jimmy Butler included. He ain't done shit. He talked all that shit and he ain't done nothing.
I disagree, but.
Look at him. He got 7 points. 9 points, man.
That's one of the best coaches in the league.
Well, then you better find somebody that can shoot. Coach them.
Yeah. They're shooting 15% from three. It's bad.
God.
I love how
Where's
he'd
Hero
almost
at?
walk out of the room, have the door shut, he'd come back in.
That's my dad for you.
Hell yeah.
That's where I learned all the Miami stuff. He's fired up right now. Like I said, the NBA has been such a bad product, I can't get emotionally invested. Now, we're the same way about the Hurricane. Not going to lie.
Damn, I think we can shoot better than that.
I know I can.
I don't know about that.
What the hell is James even talking about?
Why going on about South Pittsburgh? Ain't nobody give a fuck about South Pittsburgh.
Yeah, what? James says Shawn Michaels and Jericho. Hey, James, I still watch wrestling too. Who's your favorite wrestler right now? Because mine is MJF. But anyways, we'll go on that. Dream Vehicles.
Who is MJF?
So it's for the different wrestling promotions called All Elite Wrestling. I will send you some of his videos because he is like, he's 26, but he's got like that old school, like he stays in character type thing. And so he's like, he's a heel. He's a total dickhead. But he refers to his mom as like, we don't talk about that skank Nina Freeman anymore. He said, you know what I do? He said, I'm banging shoulders on mats and he said, I'm pinning shoulders on mats and banging rats. He said one promo he said in one promo he took a shot at John Cena, which was pretty funny because he was in a feud with CM Punk and he was just calling him like, you're becoming everything you said you didn't want to become, so you might as well be hustle, loyalty, respect. But also like one time during a match, like this was not planned or anything. He grabs, he goes, give me the fucking mic, and he cuts a promo in the middle of the match. He's just a funny, goofy, like, you don't know if he's serious or if that's, like, you don't know if that's actually him or if it's a character, which is perfect in wrestling. And so I'll send you some of his stuff because he's pretty savage on the mic.
Like I don't have time to watch. Too busy watching Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, I'll just send you clips on Twitter because, like, obviously Twitter clips are the best thing to send. But we'll go back to Dream Vehicles because until my dad interrupted. So you got yours. You said unpractical Rolls Royce and then some kind of truck. I think for me, unpractical is I probably have to agree with you. It's like a Rolls Royce. I think that's just the cream of the crop. As far as practical, I think a Mercedes is practical. So I just like the styles of Mercedes. And
big
so
body Benz.
Yeah.
Big body.
I also just like want to be able, if we hop in the Benz, is that okay? Like that one rap song. So
yeah,
he likes Kenny Omega.
Like
Kenny Omega's a good one, James. I like that. But what about you, Justin? What's your vehicles of choice?
I think practical. I want a built Gladiator, Jeep Gladiator.
Yeah.
Dude, I on Facebook Marketplace the other day for $190,000.
It's ridiculous.
It had like a Hellcat in it and everything, but that was crazy.
I'd love to have a Hellcat. Yeah.
Hellcat Speed Racer.
Yeah.
What about impractical?
I've been grinding on this, Justin.
Dude, I've been playing it every now and then.
Yeah.
Start with that one of the shittiest teams on the game as like an offensive coordinator and work my way up until I get to whoever.
Fuck all that. I went ahead and did a coach at Miami with current roster, so it's pretty funny.
What are y'all playing?
Talking about NCAA 14.
NCAA 14. The new game should be coming out next summer, I think.
Yeah,
it better have.
I play it. I play it from time to time as well.
Yeah, this is what's crazy is like my PS3 is so old that like with my current TV, even with my HDMI, it will not show up on my won't show up on my TV. But I have another TV that will show up on. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I'm ready for the new game.
Me too.
Do y'all got Xbox?
I have both.
PlayStation.
I have a PS4, but I also have an Xbox Series X or whatever.
The new one.
Yeah.
I think within the next 2 months or so, I will be getting like the Xbox Series S, which is the new one. It's just you have to buy the games digitally, and so when I get that,
it has a little bit.
Yeah, but it's so I could play the update.
Yeah.
So when I get that, I'll be hollering for your gamer tag. Now I suck, but
It's one hit wonder. It will always be one hit wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there was one time I played Rocket League, and I was terrible. But I somehow, some way, I was in the right position to have the game-winning goal one time, and I had it. And like that was the only goal I scored. That's what's bad.
Well, boys.
Yes, those are the 3 questions, but we'll get into it again. I'm glad we had time to do the pod finally.
I know.
As you can tell, I'm in my
What are y'all?
My old setup.
What are y'all shitters?
My house. What'd you say?
What are y'all fuckers doing this weekend?
Drinking cold beer, having a big Memorial Day bash. Come down. It's for Jay's birthday.
What day?
Ooh.
Saturday.
Okay.
Oh,
Saturday, I'm playing golf up in Indian Hills.
Oh, that's a good golf course.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
But I'll be back.
Murfreesboro.
Yeah. I'll be back
I'm about to show you how to.
that afternoon. Because it's a Memorial Day weekend, so I really don't have plans, actually, besides the golf.
Or we can try to do something Sunday. I don't care. We'll figure something out.
Dude, geez, my fellow big boy. There's a new restaurant in Tullahoma called Highway 55. Apparently, they have this like burger competition.
Yeah.
We got to go find out if we can do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun, bro. I've been
Yeah.
watching what I've been eating ever since I got back home, just to kind of be a better example for my dad, but also for myself. So lately, I've just been eating like meat and vegetables and just like a little bit of carbs, not completely cutting carbs out, but like a smaller portion and just trying to fill up on meat and veggies.
Yeah.
Like today, I had like 6 chicken breast tenderloins grilled with a bunch of green beans and like a little bit of noodles. It was pretty good.
Ooh, sounds pretty straight. Had a little chicken
And I
stir
eat
fry for
blueberries.
dinner.
I eat blueberries. Oh, we had chicken stir fry last week, and it was really good. My dad made it. I was impressed, honestly.
James,
Yeah,
you don't shut the fuck up about South Pittsburgh.
Why does he love South Pittsburgh so much?
I don't know. South P Bandit. Shut the fuck
Fucking
up.
crackhead.
Golly, that's funny.
All right, but next week we'll be a little more prepared. We just kind of did this off the top.
Yeah,
of
just
our
to get
head,
something out there.
Just
We
to
ain't
get
been
something
able to do
out.
anything.
Yeah.
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 It's one last thing, Champions League soccer. The final is Saturday, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. I'm rooting for Real Madrid, but I think Liverpool is going to be the ones to win to lift the cup, is what they say in soccer terms. Because if they don't win the game in regulation, overtime, like extra time, and then it'll go down to PKs. Liverpool, like Real Madrid's had a magical run, but Liverpool is just, they're a different breed this year. So that's my prediction, Liverpool.
Well,
You heard it here first.
yes, sir.
Yep.
Give Cheese his credit when this happens.
Absolutely. We're losing by 20. Gosh, this is terrible.
All right, guys. We'll catch y'all next week.
Absolutely. Peace out.